Welcome to Adobe Illustrator CC 2021 Classroom Read Book Chapter 4 about gradients, blends, and patterns. This is part number 4. Let's go ahead and jump into our Adobe Illustrator. When we just finished, we created this sesame seed. So let's do a Control minus and zoom out. Now we're going to go ahead and place those elements that we just created. So let's go ahead and grab that star, kind of move it over here. Let's do a view, fit artboard and window so we can see a little bit better. Let's grab it and move it down here under Be Famously Tasty. And let's go ahead and create one more. So let's go ahead and Alt and drag it, but we don't like the way it's facing. So let's go ahead and go to our properties. And we want to go ahead and flip it horizontal. That's not too bad. Let's go ahead and rotate it just a tiny bit just so it fits a little bit better. So that's a little bit better. Move that down. Oh, escape. Somehow I got in isolation mode. All right, so now we also have that sesame seed that we created. So you could go ahead and put it up on your hot dog bun if you like, or I'm going to try and make it into a kind of a decoration on my truck. So I'm going to shift and bring it down a little bit. We're going to make it a design up here. So I'm going to have first one, I'm going to have one way over here. So I'm going to shift select both of those. I'm going to do object and blend and make. And I'm going to go back into my blend objects and I want to make it specified steps. And I'm going to go ahead and make it 25 and tab. And so now you can see how you can easily create those different elements. 25 seems kind of a lot. So let's try 15 and say OK. So now I can go ahead and see how I've got my different types of shapes that I'm selecting. So clearly I selected the inside and went to the outside. That's why they're bigger to smaller, but I'm okay with that. Let's do a Control S and save. All right, so before we can finish this one out, we need to package it. So File and Package. And let's make sure that we're in our correct folder. So we want to make sure we're in our lesson number 11. So I want to make sure I'm in my lesson 11. And I want to make sure I name it my first initial last name, underscore Adobe Illustrator, Classroom in a Book, Chapter 11, Truck 1. And select the folder. Nope, no, I just wanted to select that one, sorry. Just lesson 11 folder. I lied. I got ahead of myself. Now we want to change this world folder to package PKG. And let's go ahead and say package and show the package. Make sure we've got everything we need for truck number 1. That's correct. So that'll be the first one that you're going to use to put in your folder that you're going to zip. And let's go ahead and delete that one. And we can close that. And let's go ahead and close that one down. So we can tell that we've created our truck. We did add the extra sesame seeds just for fun. So we can close that one. So now let's go ahead and do a file open. And let's grab that L11 start 2 and open. We're going to go ahead and create a pattern this time. Let's do a file and a save as. Make sure we're in that lesson 11 folder. Let's change it to first initial last name, underscore Adobe Illustrator, Classroom in a Book, Chapter 11, and this is Truck 2. And save. So this time we're going to play with some patterns. So now we're going to go ahead and with our selection tool, say OK first. With our selection tool, we're going to go ahead and grab this gray pattern kind of here at the bottom. So we can actually turn it into a road. So in our appearance section of the properties, we're going to go to more options, those 3 ellipses. And we want to do an add new fill button on the bottom of the appearance. So this is add new stroke. This is add new fill. It's the second button. So we're going to add another on top. And now we're going to click the box to the right of the word fill. And we're going to go ahead and choose the Mezzo Tint Dot Swatch, which is kind of underneath this weird yellow one for me. And it's kind of the 5th row. Let's go ahead and escape to close those swatches. And it's going to go ahead and fill that on top. So now in the appearance panel, just below the word top, fill, we're going to change the word opacity. So we want opacity right here. And let's go ahead and change it to about 90%. And I'm going to hit tab. So we get kind of a funky road look. And now let's do a enter. Oh, undo. Totally undo. There we go. Control Z to undo. And let's do a Control S to save. Let's go ahead and select and deselect. And we can close that appearance panel. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is create our own pattern. So let's do a view. And we do view, fit artboard on window. We want to zoom out a couple times, so Control minus. And with our selection tool, we want to go ahead and grab this Famous Franks over here on the side. It's the logo bits. And we're going to turn that into a pattern. So let's go Object, Pattern, and Make. And it's going to say, what kind of pattern do you want to make? Say OK here. And it's going to create something kind of crazy. So we have a few different options here. So the pattern editing mode, which is what we're in right now, lets us create those patterns. So we want to do our select. We want to choose all on active artboard. And let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And the box around here is our original tile. So instead of new pattern, let's go ahead and call this truck vinyl. And you can see we've got a few different tile types. So you can try and change the way that we've got. We actually want to end up with the hex by column. And then we want to choose 1 by 1 from our copies right here. Make it a little bit easier to see. And we want to go ahead and click on a blank area. Just kind of deselect that artwork. And now we want to select the star below, Famously Tasty, and delete it. So we want to go ahead and select this star and delete that one. And now we want to go ahead and take this star right here and just move it a little bit. So we can add, we can delete, we can transform artwork and still create our pattern. So now let's go ahead and look at it again as a 5 by 5. So you see now that we've got that space here, we took it out. Now let's go ahead and do size tile to art. So it's going to go ahead and make that a little bit closer. And we want to hit done up here in the top to say, okay, we're done playing with our pattern. So now let's do a Control S and save. So now we want to apply our pattern. So let's do view, fit artboard and window. Let's grab our selection tool and grab the white that is the truck. And for our fill color, let's go ahead and choose our new pattern. It says truck vinyl. It's going to go ahead and put that in for us. Oh, we want to do a fill color first. So let's go ahead and fill. And let's do a color. Let's go ahead and add a new swatch, a color. So we want it to be cyan 0, tab magenta 33, tab yellow 100. Nope, not 1200. And black 0. And we're okay with that. So let's go ahead and hit enter. And let's go ahead and hit our more options in the appearance section. And now we want to add another fill on top of that. So now we're going to go ahead and choose that pattern on top of our yellow. And we like that. We're happy with it. So now we can close that appearance to escape. Let's close that appearance tile. Let's close that swatches and Control S and save. Now with our truck still selected, let's go ahead and double click that vinyl pattern in the pattern editing mode. So let's go back to our properties and double click here and double click that fill. Now let's go here to our swatches. Let's double click it. So you can see we can get into our pattern and change it up. So we could change that Famous Franks text. So let's go ahead on Famous Franks. Let's choose that part. Now let's go ahead and add a stroke to that Famous Franks. Let's go ahead and grab a 1-point stroke and let's make it dark red. Let's go ahead and make it just kind of that dark red. Make it a little bit different. And escape. And go ahead and hit Control S and save. And we want to go ahead and hit done up here at the top. And you'll see now that just Famous Franks has that darker red all the way around it, which is exactly what we want. Let's do Control S and save. And let's package this one as well. So File and Package. Let's make sure in our Lesson 11 folder we've got Truck 2 instead of folder. We're going to write PKG. And Package. And show the package. All right, so now what we're going to do is go into our Lesson 11. And we have 2 different packaged files. We want to grab Truck 1 package, and we want to do a shift click and grab Truck 2. Let's do a right click and do Send to Compressed File. And it's going to turn them both in at once for us. So we can just say Truck Both. And now we've got both of those items in our package, and that's what you're going to go ahead and turn into Canvas. So we did quite a bit of different things with patterns and blends, and hopefully you can create some really awesome new artwork. Talk to you later. Bye.